ball movement and timing be something kind of difficult to implement when you have a younger team and a team that's kind of all trying to learn to gel together for the first time?
Absolutely, yes. You have some younger players that have not really been on this level. So it's kind of difficult for them to consistently be great. Now they have their times for sure, but to consistently understand the rhythm and the beat of just the game, the WNBA game, it has been challenging. But I have faith in them, and I understand where they are as rookies. So that's why I still have them on the floor at the end of the game because I want them to learn and get experience.
The bench sort of struggled putting the ball in the basket tonight outside of Emma, who couldn't miss. What do you do when the second unit is struggling to score, and how do you kind of get that unit flowing and going?
Well, we really usually try to bring in some good defensive schemes. I thought we played a decent defensive game in the first half. Second half, we kind of let it go a little bit. Just fell out of the consistent rotations that we're used to. But for the most part, the bench, when they're struggling like that, we just try to get a defensive spark from somewhere. And, tonight it happened sporadically, but it didn't happen when it really needed to.
Zion.
Yeah, going in, it felt like you guys would have the advantage just in overall size, but Phoenix was able to grab offensive rebounds and scored 18 second chance points. What did you see allowing them to get those boards and to capitalize on those second opportunities?
I just thought they were a little bit quicker to the ball. We practiced, we worked on making sure we're getting to a body and boxing people out and just defending and rebounding at a high level. But I think they were very quick to the ball and they were able to kind of get around our box outs. So that hurt us. That hurt us in some areas. Then, we picked up early quick fouls, and I think it just took some of the confidence away from a rebounding standpoint. So, again, those are consistent things that you have to work on, especially when you have a younger group.
Both teams shot the ball well from three, but the Mercury had super high volume as well, making 13 threes. What do you think allowed them to get so many shots that they liked?
Well, I think we just have to consistently follow the game plan. And sometimes our schemes, what we're doing on our pick and rolls, they have to remain clear and consistent. And sometimes I think we get kind of rambled up and confused on who's who. Again, that's a personnel thing. And with it being a personnel thing, it's a kind of one of those things that you have to learn as you become a great WNBA player. That's huge. That's huge, and that's one of the things that we have not mastered yet, but it's coming.
It looked like later in the second half you were trying to ice some of those screens and send them more towards the sideline. What was the reasoning for that?
Well, we just wanted to try to give them a different look. We had gave them the look of trapping and hedging, and so we just wanted to try to give them a different look and try to make them uncomfortable. When you have a great player in Diana Taurasi and Skylar Diggins-Smith, it's just difficult for you to consistently stay with a scheme all night. So we wanted to just switch it up a little bit.
How do you guys turn this around and try to come back and get a victory on Wednesday against Phoenix?
I think we need to stay consistent and positive and focus on the game plan. We'll go back, we'll take a look at some of the things we could have done better from a film standpoint. I thought our offense got stagnant at times, so we really need to make sure that we focus in on what it takes to get great ball movement down the stretch. And then just simple, as they ramp it up, we need to learn the significance in ramping it up as well and matching their intensity. And it comes with a veteran team. They have a veteran team. They've been around, a couple Olympians. And it's just, you have to understand who you're playing, know your personnel, and know what you must bring to a game to actually win it. So that's what I have to try to preach to them and make sure that they consistently are on board with.
Yeah, Kelsey, what did you feel like went wrong for you guys in the second half and even more specifically in the fourth quarter offensively?
I think we got pretty stagnant. It was hard to get actions going it's always tough for us as Indiana Fever to transition into offense when we allow so much stuff to happen to us defensively. It just makes it harder transition for us to get what we want. We're a transition team, and so when you allow people like DT, Skylar, and Dominant Shields, to get the ball in the rim and score, it's hard for us to transition out. I think that was our biggest downfall compared to first half and second half.
16 turnovers for you guys as a team tonight. Why did you feel like? I feel like there were a lot of just miscommunications and just deflected passes and whatnot. What did you feel like led to all that?
I think being stagnant. Thank you. I think being stagnant is a big part of that. When you don't have any action and any movement, when you allow for people to just make plays, everybody's standing. On top of the fact that we got a little discombobulated mentally. I think when it came to comparing the fouls and the refs and everything that was out of our control, we kind of got too into that today. So I think it calls for a lot of disruption.
You guys will play Phoenix again on Wednesday night. How do you just make sure that as a team you guys are all just turning it around and making sure you're coming out with a chance to win that game?
We gotta keep fighting. That's all we can really do at this point. It's about us really just taking this game and learning from it and applying it for the next game. I think that's why it's quick turnarounds in the league. So we're gonna use this and use everything that went wrong and make it right.
Gabby?
Is this the final one?
Yeah, Kelsey, do you like having the opportunity to play this team again in 2 days? Just to kind of be able to look and, make those corrections quickly and, see if you guys can apply them within 2 days?
Man, I think so. I think it's a really good thing for us because as a competitor, you get a chance to get it back and make it right. Obviously, anybody that plays the game at a high level knows how it feels to play games back to back. But at the end of the day, when you can lose to a team and then come back and play them at their home, I think it only makes us. It's gonna make the transition better for us. We need that energy, and I think it's a good thing for us right now to see them again.
It looked like you guys had a really strong stretch after the first couple minutes of the game, and then a tougher stretch again near the end of the first half, and then a similar thing at the end of the game. How can you guys strategize to kind of fix those late half stretches where the offense is just looks a little discombobulated? What do you think the key is to finishing out those halves on a stronger note?
I think for us it's knowing schemes and knowing where we need to be on both sides of the floor. There was a lot of times we were supposed to be in certain things, depending on who had the ball, as far as Donnie Taurasi or Skylar Diggins, and we weren't there. And it made it harder for us to kind of get where we needed and then go down the other end and make it count. So it's always difficult when we don't apply what was taught in the scout and in the schemes. And I think if we do that, we have more success.
Do you think when you guys are going through those schemes and going through the scouting report, do you feel like that plan is solid enough, and then you feel like it's just not being executed the right way when the game comes?
1,000%. I think when you pick and choose, sometimes for me individually, you pick and choose when it has to be done, or you lax and you're not paying attention. They make us pay. People like Dan Taurasi gonna make you pay. If you're not close enough, if you're not switching easier enough or hard enough, they're gonna make you pay. And so, I think for us, it's the first one. The scheme is not the problem; it's us applying it and executing it. And when you take plays off and you pick and choose when you want to do it, like I said, they're gonna make you pay.
Thanks, Kelsey.
Finish up with Tony.
Kelsey, Carlos was just talking about some struggles with ball movement. You talk about the stagnation. Do you kind of feel like those are the same thing, and how's that something you pick up over the course of a game?
Yeah, I think we pretty much tied into the same thing. A lot of standing, we need a lot more movement to find people and to find one another and to make plays, really. I think for us, it's about watching a film, seeing how ineffective being stagnant and standing is, and hopefully apply it to the next game.
Do you feel like that's the biggest cause of turnovers? Is it a timing thing? There were a couple live ball ones tonight that just a cut happened right when they got tossed. How do you kind of iron out those sort of little things?
Clean it up, obviously. Clean it up, on both sides of the floor as far as like for us, Tony, it's like it's a big deal for us when we don't do what we need to do defensively and go into offense. So then once we get down there and people are standing, it's harder. So those loud ball turnovers and being stagnant, it's the idea of not knowing where you need to be and not knowing what you're doing, and it sucks. It's unfortunate, and hopefully we can clean it up.
Got the little guy with you too, Emma?
Yeah, hi everybody. So this is my son Dior. He wanted to come to media.
Wonderful. See, who gets first hand raised here? Tony, fire away.
Emma, first of all, for you, is it fun to be back in Phoenix and playing against the team that you started the season with?
Oh yeah, always. I mean, I'm a competitor, so once if a team waves you and you get to play against them, it's always like good. It's like, look at what you're missing.
Of course. So on the negative side of this game, 16 turnovers for you guys. Both Kelsey and Carlos talked about sort of a stagnant offense without the movement you need. How do you kind of juice up the team and get things moving and get the ball going where it needs to be when it's not happening throughout the course of a whole game?
Yeah, the good thing about it is we play them again on Wednesday. So we'll get in the gym. We'll watch film, and we'll learn from our mistakes. Like you said, it got a little stagnant at times, and we just have to learn to play through adversity. Sometimes we hit a wall and it gets tough. But we're still young. We're still learning. We're learning each other, so it'll come around.
It's 2 straight games where the offense has been sort of slowed for big stretches of the game. How do you overcome that, or what do you sense is the big thing holding you guys back on that end of the floor right now?
I don't think that anything's holding us back. Los is doing a great job of putting in different plays and putting people in the right position. You okay? You okay? Yeah. So Los is putting in, putting people in the right position. Oh. Sorry about that, but it's just about us, getting downhill and getting to our spots and getting there faster. I feel like we sometimes slow the game down, and that's just a part of us being more mentally and physically strong, and doing the little things. Okay, you don't want your passion. All right, you're supposed to be good in media.
Go to Zion here.
Yeah, Emma, this is the second game in the last 3 games where you were able to score in double figures. Are you starting to feel just more comfortable playing with this Indiana team?
Yeah, I was here last year with majority of the people, and then we have our rookies in, and they've welcomed me in with open arms. So once I am able to get on the court and do what I can do, of course I feel comfortable out there. It's basically a family on the court. So whenever I do get my opportunity, when my number is called, I just go out there and have fun and do my job.
And then you talked about just coming from Phoenix earlier. You played there a few years back as well. I saw a moment during a dead ball situation in the second half where you and DT gave each other like a little handshake or something. What was that? Was there a conversation that went with that? And what is your relationship with her?
No, what it was I fouled her, and I got her back from what she fouled me. But yeah, we do our little handshake. Well, outside of basketball, we're good friends. I have a lot of friends in the league, and it's just, it's good. It's all in love. All right. Hillary?
I think, Emma, we're good. We'll let you get out of here and spend some more time with you over there.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks everybody for joining us tonight.